It's time for another Power Play show with Coach Frenchie, Andrew Lepage, ENORTAP, and Michael DiVellano. It's time, Power Play show. Whoa, we missed Mr. ENORTAP now. Mr. ENORTAP, where are you? Here we go, Mr. ENORTAP. Welcome back in the show, Mr. ENORTAP. Here we go, another Power Play show with the hockey coach, your coach Frenchie, directly from the beautiful Sunshine State in Florida. And we have to go all the way to the north to find our co-host, Mr. ENORTAP. Is in the house tonight. Welcome back, Mr. ENORTAP.
Hello, Coach and Hockey Nation. How's everyone doing?
The people was waiting to stand up when you finished the talk, so they was not trying to interrupt you. So we wait about that one over there. And wow, Wednesday we got the budget. We said we bring only ENORTAP, and will be the best way to do that. So we are only two tonight because we have a short show. We're not going to stay there until late because we're going to take advantage of the day night off. No hockey, honestly. Game number 4 is going to be tomorrow night. And what we have on the program tonight, we're going to talk about the game number 3 yesterday. What happening between the Tampa Bay Lightning and Colorado Avalanche. We know already the final score. And then we talk about a little bit what happening during the day, the couple is fun news, signature, and everything like that. Maybe a couple of trade bait. And finally, we're going to talk about, of course, the NHL awards just complete like 1 hour ago. We talk about its fun winner of the trophies and NHL, the first star team also, and so many other things. So we're going to do this, but also we have to welcome everybody to give us your question. The only thing we ask, please don't forget to put the letter Q in front of the question. That's the only thing we can follow more the people in the chat, Mr. ENORTAP. Of course, if you forget, it's not a big deal, but we have a little bit more people, and sometimes we forget to patch you to get your question. So we have a search with the letter Q, and that gave us all the questions of the night. So that's what happening, Mr. ENORTAP. So how's your day, Mr. ENORTAP?
Long. It was a good day, but it was a lot of things on the go. And we enjoyed some the awards tonight, so that was quite interesting. And we're looking forward to tomorrow.
That's awesome. We heard we followed the Memorial Cup. Honestly, start yesterday. The St. John St. Dog beat the Hamilton Bulldog yesterday by a score 5-3. And the last minute, maybe some of you follow what's going on, but Shawinigan was lead 4-3 at the beginning of the third period or middle of the third. I did not have the time of the game. Honestly, I got all those information by Twitter, and Nadeau scored the goal for the Shawinigan. So it'll be interesting to see that. I will be a little bit surprised to see the team both for the QM winning the first game. It's a short round robin, right? You cannot lose game because if you lose one game, you're behind already. So no exit, another chance. So you have to be sure you follow right away about that. But we have a few people in the house. We're going to talk about everybody. Welcome, everybody. Let's starting with at the beginning, Mr. Alan Barnes is in the house tonight.
Hey, Alan. How's it going?
We saw under the site, Mr. Jeffrey Coury is in the house.
Jeffrey, welcome.
We have, of course, Mr. Duda. Welcome aboard, Mr. Duda.
Hey, Duda.
Mr. Jose Duarte, moderator of the Hockey Nation Live Show, back from upstate, ready to rock and roll the show tonight with us.
Hey, Jose, how's it going?
And Mr. Black Oxford 97, Nick with Kate and also Joshua and Harper. And if you go to a little bit deeper, you can call Riley and Mac, the little doggies, are in the house listening. Coach Frenchie and ENORTAP, welcome aboard.
Welcome.
The moderator, Mr. DANY T.
Hey, Danny, how's it
we have Mr. William McClary. Welcome aboard, Mr. William. Thanks to be with us tonight. Set pretty hot in Toronto.
It is. It was a.
He's your neighbor. Is this from Toronto too, William?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh,
all
right.
I think he said downtown Toronto or
awesome.
thereabouts.
That's awesome. So it's hot is good.
Wow.
That is good. Mr. Roger, number one fans, Abs number one in the house tonight. Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Zep Laka, welcome aboard, Mr. Zep. Thanks to be with us.
Zep, how's it going?
If you have questions and we don't answer right away, it's not because we forget them. We just go to welcome everybody first. So we jump over you, but we come back we do a replay backwards, go slowly, slow motion, and then you go back that way after that, and then you finish this way, and we'll go like that. Hey, Nicolas de Goubi-Bono, welcome back.
Hey, Nicolas. Welcome aboard.
Nicolas finished his school went to the water park, Mr. ENORTAP at Bromont. Water park, everything like that. I bet the entrance is $65. That's just kidding. I don't know.
US.
It's terrible about that one over there. Just remember the lights out at 11 o'clock. And we're not there yet, Roger. We're getting there tomorrow. But don't worry. We're going to get light out when the game is over, game number 4, and we'll be ready for that one over there. Steve G, directly from Denver, Colorado, in the house tonight.
Steve, how's it going?
And Mr. John D, welcome back directly from Island Ranch and north of the Denver. Nice area, Mr. ENORTAP at the Highland Ranch. Nice. I've been there, I live beside that. So I know exactly where the Island Ranch is. Welcome back, Mr. Johnny.
Hey, Johnny.
Thanks, Mr. Jeffrey, to be with us about that one over there. We're getting there. And the next couple of questions, we just want to be sure we don't forget anything. Here we go, Mr. RJ Calabro Sports Schedule update is back and out from New Jersey with all the update, what's going on. And Mr. Real Del Brim, welcome back, Mr. Real. Our friend, Brandon Zikora, is the retour. Welcome back, Mr. Hey, Brandon. And Miss Kelly is in the house tonight. Welcome aboard.
Hey, Kelly.
And then we have a couple of questions getting down, no problem. Let's move on with the letter Q on the top, Mr. ENORTAP. So we're going to start with the question we have, where they can go all the way down about that. Mr. Duda, first question, he said, thought on the new head coach for the Star.
What's the question? Sorry. What's the question?
Well, the first question is, what do you think about the new head coach for the Dallas Star?
Oh, DeBoer. Well, I'm not sure DeBoer is the best fit for Dallas. I like him as a coach, but I just don't see the mix between what Dallas really needed, and that was to try to open up a little bit more offensively, because defensively they're very solid, and they have a very solid goaltender as well in Ottinger. So it'll be interesting to see how the players react to this. You know, I'm not sold on him in Dallas.
The good news about this, honestly, is he returned with Joe Pavelski, and Joe Pavelski have a great years under Peter Tauber. And I think that we're helping the relationship with Joe Pavelski and Peter Tauber. He know how they coach. He know how this works. Now, surprisingly, Peter Tauber he's don't have a lot of great stat and as a coach and the playoff, Mr. ENORTAP.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you think about this, he's, you know what I mean, like he struggled a little bit. Never, the only thing he won the Western Conference champion in 2015, and he won to the Eastern Conference champion in 2011. So he's been in the league for over 15 years, and that's only 2 times he went deep in the zone. Otherwise, you know, first round out, first round route, first position up, sorry. So that gives you an idea what is up and down about this. Of course, you have a great year in Vegas, the last 2 years, right? The third one, he didn't participate this season, but we're better saying. I think, you know, the guy is do well overall, but he needs some horse. If you don't have no horse, he struggle, right? So I think for me it's because I'm sure Joe Pavelski have a words to say that exactly what I can send with the Flowers, Mr. ENORTAP.
No, I get that, but it's one player, right? I mean, he'll be good. I'm sure. I don't want to shed him in a dark light because, like I said, I like DeBoer. I don't quite see the fit in Dallas. Besides the fact that
now the question has always been, right? But he did not work the power play for the last 3 in Vegas. So we'll be now to see with Eskinen. And they have a couple of decisions to do in Dallas. Jacob Robinson, RFA. The John Glenberg, UFA. That's the biggest, you know, puzzle on that session over there. So they draft number 19 or 18, if I can recall it in my head. Maybe the Kings 19 and then 18 for them. So that would be like interesting which one they're going to go. I would not be surprised to go with a defenseman at that pick. But and then they have to. I don't know if they bring back Brendan Oldby. I believe Oldby, Mr. ENORTAP, he was signed 1-year contract with the Dallas Star at $2 million. But I could be wrong here because sometimes I mess up Martin Jean with Oldby all the time. He's a UFA.
And they are drafting 18th.
And they have Scott Wedgwood, also UFA.
Right.
So it'll be interesting how they're going to get about that one over there. William, he said, do you feel if Colorado lose tomorrow, all the pressure go on them, and if they win it's Stanley Cup, here we come with such a crucial game?
I think it's a crucial game for both of them, William. I mean, it's a good question to ask. I think Tampa knows that their backs are to the wall and they have to win tomorrow because they don't want to fall behind 3-1 and have to go to Colorado 2 out of the next 3 games. By the same token, Colorado, you know, they've seen what Tampa's done to 2 other teams in the playoffs, and so they don't want a repetition of that. So the pressure's on both teams. I think it's going to be a very exciting game tomorrow. I don't think we're going to see what we saw in games 2 and 3. It'll be a much closer game in my eyes. But the pressure, I think Colorado's still okay if they lose, you know, given that they go back home for 2 out of the next 3 games. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. I said this morning, I'm maybe you was not there, but the game number 4, guys, is going to be the biggest game at the series. But it's 2-2 is game number 5. No, because there are no tomorrow game number. Because number 5, Mr. ENORTAP, if you win or you lose, you still have another game after, right? 3-2, and then game 6, we understand. But this game 4, it have so make that game so thing could happen. Example, like you said, if Colorado lose, everything now come back to them. Now they come back home. If Tampa Bay lose, it would be hard for them to come back in that series. And they will have to beat Colorado 2 times at home after that. So it would be really hard for them. So really important. So tomorrow, guys, or I believe, Mr. ENORTAP, both teams would be like a war. Like they cannot drop that game. There will be like game number 7. If I was coaching, I would tell them, this is tomorrow's the game number 7. If we cannot, and whatever I'm coaching, which team, that's how we prepare my game that way. of the team. So this is game 7, guys. This could change everything. We switch the momentum, and then we can go. Because Tampa Bay win, what they would said, we have 2 games to win 1 game on the road. So everything could happen. So that would be the way about this one. A great comment from Mr. William about this one over there. Cool. Question: Do you the memorial point format? I love it. 3 points for the win regulation, 2 went overtime, 1 last OT, and 0 for the last regular season. What do you think about that?
About the point system?
Yeah.
What's he proposing?
On the Memorial Cup, they did that.
Oh, I've always been in. I mean, ever since they implemented the overtime and later the shootout, I mean, I've always been in favor of slightly altering the point system. Now, whether that's a 3-2-1 system or it's 2-2-1, the one thing I'd like to see eliminated is any team getting a point if they lose the game. I mean, that's what I think has really created a lot of the parity in the NHL. And if you're a team that has a poor start out of the gate at the beginning of the year and you fall behind like 10, 15 points, kind of like what the Islanders did this year, it's going to be very hard for you to get back into the race, because you might play teams ahead of you and you go to overtime and even if you win, you only make 1 point on them. So this system, I'm not 100% in favor for. But
now I like those ideas because I like to make some crazy suggestion.
Go ahead.
If you apply the 3-point, Mr. ENORTAP, if you score in the last 5 minutes of the regular time, you get an extra point.
Sure.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the last 5 minutes, they play only for 1 point, right? But if you think about this, hey, guys, tonight we can have an extra point if we score the last 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And I think that would be and I think that would be a great play, because whatever is 3 points for the win regular, for the full game, I think they will set down anyway at the last 5 minutes of the game. They will say, it's not big deal. We can get only 2 points overtime and 1 point last. But if you push them to set 3 points, and the last 5 minutes, you're going to sit on something. So that would be something. And I will not go, I will stay 2-1, because in overtime, some teams are advantage a lot. When you have an offensive team, like Florida have 16 W and overtime this season. And if your opponent team don't have 0 points, that would not be good. So I would keep like the 3-2-1 that way. About that one.
Yeah, I don't think the shootout should be worth more than 1. I mean, we're taking the game of hockey and now creating a skills competition. Basically, is what it is, and so it shouldn't be worth 2 full points.
Yep. Duda ask, what do you Oilers have to do in the NHL now? Could they sign a new head coach? So what's the next for the Oilers now? They set up their. That's the right way to do it now. They have their coach. It's all set up now. What's the next for them?
Well, they have a few things on their plate, right, that they have to resolve. Number one, what's going to happen with the situation with Evander Kane. That's up there. Number two, they're going to have to address their defense. I think that they need probably a right and a left-handed defenseman that can play, even at the 3-4 level. They need that, and of course, with Koskinen now gone, of course you're going to bring up Skinner. But what's happening with Smith? So are they going to try to improve their goaltending situation through free agency, through a trade, possibly? Who knows? But that's an area that they saw once they got in that final series against Colorado. Goaltending becomes increasingly important.
Yeah, I will add that on this one. When you talk about Kane, we have to figure out also Brett Kulak.
Yeah, it would be good if they could keep him,
All right,
but
so as a UFA, then they have to figure out two players, Yamamoto and Bujijari.
Pulley Jarvie, yeah.
Right, so that's another one they have to figure out. Both of them are RFA. Yes, both of them are RFA, and Kulak is UFA with Kane. So they have to figure out where they're going to go with that one over there. And they have about $7 million to spend, and they are only have 15 players. So they have to figure out something else, right? Now, I still believe they're going to trade Dyson Barry. They would try to find a way to trade Dyson Barry to open up a $4.5 million on the salary cap. I would not be surprised, and I think that will be helping them for sure to get that kind of defenseman more stable over there. But again, I think that will be very interesting, the next move, and you never know with Ken Holland.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
He's very unpredictable.
Great question, Mr. Duda. For ENORTAP, how many hours did McDavid win?
That's got to be Kelly.
Yep.
Let's see. I think he won 2 tonight: the Lindsay and the Hart Trophy. Too bad he didn't win the Stanley Cup, though. That would have been a nice cap.
Yep. McDavid get 0-2 tonight, and he was maybe busy with the another one.
To him.
Who knows?
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Mr. Jeffrey Curry said, I tried to put this here. Has John Cooper figured out the Avalanche, or he did with Toronto, Florida, and York Rangers?
Not really. I mean, it's not much of a surprise. There's not much to figure out. Tampa has to slow down Colorado, and it's important that they get ahead in the game so that they can dictate the style to play, right? And Colorado doesn't react very well to that. I know that they have the potential with their offensive power to come back in any game. Like even yesterday, when it was 3-2 at one point, you couldn't say that Tampa was going to run away with it. It wasn't until that fourth goal that I saw Colorado kind of just say, okay, throw the towel in here and we'll play the next game. So that's the style that I think he wants to play. He wants to slow it down. He wants to get get some of his veteran players to get under the skin of some of the Colorado players. You look at McKinnon. I mean, he's your best player on the team. He's got to start scoring at some point. Otherwise they're going to find themselves in trouble.
Yeah. It's just like a bad game for Colorado. Again, it's the second period.
Yeah.
So the second period, they found a way to get that. But they cannot, whatever is a goaltender, they have a 3 goal inside in front of the net by turnover by themselves. So it was not Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, they pick up the puck because of a mistake from the Colorado Avalanche. So, and the first goal, it was Rantanen, did not cover Palat, everything like that. So when you go there, and then they have a lot of penalty last night.
That's
also,
right.
Whatever Colorado scored to go, but 5 versus 5 did not do well. Now, I think we have to give credit for Vasilevsky, make a couple of great saves. He beat 3 times, he saved against Comfort. The opportunity for Colorado was there last night. Yeah. And Vasilevsky blocked them. So that was one of the problems they faced yesterday. But I think they have to get better and to consist what they did the first 2 games. The recipe works. And now, it's, I always said that the Tampa Bay is a team with patience, wait. And I think the fact, like I mentioned yesterday, almost 3 hours game, that's not good for the Colorado Avalanche. You had too many whistles for any reason. Offside, puck out the play, scrum, and you can go all the way like that. But overall, I think that's not good for Colorado. They want to play a fast game, a pace of the game faster, and less or whistle. And every time like that, they are under advantage, I believe.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you look at the shots on goal yesterday, and Tampa Bay did not outshoot them. I think Colorado outshot them by about 5 or 6
It will be like this
margin.
for the age game, Mr. Nota, because Tampa Bay wait and they wait them at the three at the blue line. So the only time they score, see, they
Yeah,
have that
yeah.
two reasons.
Opportunities.
I'll possibly by a turnover or a
Yeah,
giveaway puck, right? And then a power play. So that's the three things they're looking for. Otherwise, it's rare you see Tampa Bay on that series. They're not carrying the puck a lot. They don't do in transition a lot compared to it was before because Colorado was too fast and the possession of the puck. But yesterday, Colorado forget to make some pressure on the defensive zone of the Tampa Bay Lightning. But again, big save comfort at the beginning of the game. If he scores 1-0, then you have the goal cancel after that. If they count it, that's 2-0 right there. And then they score, that's 3-0. That's completely the rest of the game. So if you're fans right now,
for sure.
Colorado, I think you don't take it personally wrong way about that. I always said again, like Lou Mariello said all the time, when you lose the game, you just lose the game. You don't check the score. You just lose the game. And when you win, you just win the game. You don't look the score. The point is you have to be ready for the next game. And that's how it works in playoff usually. And the fans forget that way. They look for the score. Oh, they lose 6-0, this is over. Or they lose 7-0, this is over. But the hockey professional team, they don't see that way over there. And the coach will review wing. But the players, them, it's just, okay, game number 4. And we have to be ready for that one over there.
Yeah, you're right.
And then we have Mr. Adam said, do you think the referee Toronto in the NHL mess up on the 97 review revision by Tampa or is giving the Tampa Bay for its system?
Yeah, I'm not in favor of that such a long delay like that. I think that they should have a set time in which they can they have to declare whether they want the play reviewed. I understand that there's pressure attached to it because if you make the wrong call and it goes against you, then you have to fight off a penalty as well, a penalty kill. So I understand that, but maybe like today I was mentioning, maybe there should be a maximum. You've got 45 seconds to decide as a coaching team whether you want this reviewed or not. And if you don't make a decision by then, you can't review it. Simple as that.
Exactly.
Because at that point, let's face it, I thought Colorado had some momentum. As you said, Coach, that would have put them ahead, I think, 2-0 at that point, if that goal counts. And it could completely change the outcome of the game.
It would be 1-0, but Colorado after that score after that. So
yeah.
But again, it scored that way, that changed completely. And then if challenge, they have a penalty, that's going now power play, and you don't know what could happen after that. The key behind Adam, what he asked, the reason yesterday, Adam, NHL have nothing to do with that one over there. The mess up is what's coming from the referee and the game. It's the game control, the referee. So you not look like you have no setup time for the referee. They just talk each other, they ask the team, and then they reset, and then they point. And they hang, the Tampa Bay took advantage of that. They take longer and longer and longer, and they wait too long. And then when they call it, because they were sure of the call, and then they get there. Now, the time the NHL review the play, Mr. Notap, I don't care how long. If they do the right call, I have no problem with that part.
Well, the call was right. I mean, it was outside from what we saw from the multiple angles.
No, but my point is, like, if they take, like, remember, like, the series before that, and Ranger, I think one time it took 9 minutes before they figure out what's happening, right?
Yeah.
So this time, for me, it's not a problem. It's the call from when the team have to challenge or not. It's 30 seconds, 45 seconds, whatever is the time. You have to be sure it's balanced, but between both teams at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
And then after you bring one over there for sure. Zep, you never know. Steven Sieber, welcome aboard. Want to enjoy the cup round until and because all this may have it when we fade until the last. Mr. Renault is in the house. Are you surprised you again beat the old king tonight?
Is it over or is it still going on?
Yeah, it's out. It's over.
It's over. I'm very surprised. I'll be honest, Renault. I think the old king have probably the most talent on their team, but it goes to show in these round robin kind of tournaments that you can't fall behind. You can't start losing games because it creates a
I know, because now, Mr. ENORTAP, Hamilton play Edmonton, and the loser of this game is it's almost over.
Done, yeah.
Right? So
imagine if that's the oil king.
That's it. So you 0-2, you're going to be out after that, and then you're going to have the semifinal. So right. Edmonton play, right? Now, the good news for them, for both of them, maybe Hamilton can beat Shawinigan, and then St. John can lose against Edmonton, and now everybody is 1-1 after 2 games.
Right.
And then you have to go for the 2-1, and it will be interesting about that. Everything could happen right there.
Exactly.
Renault, there you go. Sorry about that. Next one. Do you envision Cole Caulfield as a perennial Selke and sportsmanship candidate, given he takes few penalties, he get many calls again? Do you believe he can win the Selke?
No, not right now anyway. So he's not as strong as he needs to be defensively. I think there's a big area of his game that he has to improve in. No.
I don't want to stop you, but I think it's not a Selke. The Selke is about the two-way players, Renault.
That's right.
I think he talked about the Lady Bing.
Maybe Lady Bing, yeah. That I could see more, yeah.
Right, but again, I don't see him that star. Usually, a scorer does not get those kind of trophy, but you never know. But I will be not it. Mr. GFG is in the house. Welcome aboard, Mr. GF. You have a question for us?
GFG.
First of all, you have a great logo, Mr. GF. What is the current value of Capo Caco?
I still think there's value in Capo. You got to realize that both him and Lafreniere were put on the third line in New York because there's quite a bit of talent there. And so they're still in the process of developing. Now, in Capo's case, he hasn't quite developed at the rate that we expected. But you can definitely see that the talent is there. It's just a matter of him maybe having a more opportunistic chance where he plays with either the right teammates, or in the case of a trade, if that's what is being contemplated, that he goes to a team that complements his style of play as well.
Yeah, I was trying to answer back his answer. First of all, he scored about 10 goals per year. Well, maybe not 10, 12 goals because he. Again, 43 games this season, Mr. ENORTAP. So he's got hurt, right? He scored 9 goals last season, 48. Scored 7 and 43. That's game about 12 to 13 goals. So if you think about this, GF, it was the second overall pick in NHL. So expectations are high over there. On the flip side, when you are second round pick, or first one pick, and you go with a team already not on rebuild, you go on the bottom 6, you not play on the top 6. They have their chance, but they did not take advantage of their chance. They play about 14 minutes like a third line players, Mr. ENORTAP. So if you think about Chefnikov or Jack Hughes, what they developed their time with Nico O'Shire when they went to Devils, or Zegras, example, right? Or Power and Buffalo. They play all the way first top pairing. They play top 6 over there. They play 19, 20 minutes. And that's it. It's an excuse. But you have to be realistic right now. their time is not usually because they are second round pick. They cannot go through the first two line of the he try, but not good enough. So his value right now, it's not great whatsoever. Is GF, he is 21 years old. So he still have the time to develop, right? And sometime, I don't know what he will do if he was split 19, 18 minutes per game.
Right, exactly.
All right?
And the same thing with Lafreniere, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the reason. So the value for me right there is still high, Mr. ENORTAP.
Yeah.
You know?
It would be a mistake if they traded him, in my eyes. I think that they whatever happened last during the playoffs where he was benched by Gallant in that last game. I mean, he did it for whatever reason he did it, but he shouldn't take that personally. That's part of his growing pains.
Now his contract, entry-level contract is done now.
Yeah.
So he has 3 years. Now he's going to be on his second contract in NHL. Usually you're increasing that, and now he's 13 goals. I don't expect much at $2 million, Mr. ENORTAP, at that moment.
You might be right. Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit more, but not much more. Like maybe 2.5, depending on the number of years. I would suspect he'd go for maybe either a 4 or 5 year contract now.
Not at all.
No, you think he'll go for more?
Oh no, he will go only 1 year or 2 years.
Well, if the Rangers want him and they want to keep hang on to him,
well, I think they will not give a lot. They keep him right now, but not say they will keep for 3, 4, 5 years.
Okay.
So for me, I would expect maybe 2 years at $2 million to see what he's going to develop. Then at 23, does not work, whatever it is, you're going to move him whatever it is. If you keep him 4 or 5 years, now you're stuck with him. And if you sign for 5 years, you would expect maybe $3-4 million. But if Kotkaniemi get $4 million, those guys can get like $5 million. You never know what could happen in NHL. But back to you, Mr. GF, great question. And again, I think he can get a first-round pick, late first-round pick, or a second-round pick, and return plus a prospect. Because again, he did not reach his full potential. He reminds me a lot right now of Frank Zedzina. Right? And he reminds me of Kotkaniemi at some point. I mean, like Kotkaniemi didn't feel his full potential as a third overall pick.
No.
So
no
we see.
Comment about Kotkaniemi.
Park Monkey is in the house. Welcome aboard, Park Monkey. It's I believe it's Bad Monkey, but Bad Monkey. Anyhow, how you feel about that finish? Coach who won the gold medal mid-time become head coach of the Panthers.
Yeah, he's definitely got a solid future ahead of him in terms of if he wants to get into the NHL. He's won all sorts of awards there in Finland, if I'm not mistaken, and he's probably at the top of the list.
Now, maybe I'll be wrong here, and I with all the respect for everybody, but if I coach in Finland for 20 years and I win a lot of medals and I win this, right? But I play my eyes full wider every time that. When I go to North America, the adaptation will be a little bit different.
It has to be.
So for me, if I was a coach like them in Finland and Europe, and I want to be in NHL, I would try to get a job quicker as an assistant coach.
True.
And then after that, you can get there with there. And I'm not surprised. And I don't say he have no experience. It's like Brunette. But I think the Florida Panthers need to figure out what Okinen does in Finland. And if Okinen's coming with the Florida Panthers as an assistant coach, and this guy from Finland's coming together with the Panthers together, I think that will help both of them at the same time. Because Okinen been in the North America, He's still learning about the different thing about the coaching. This guy have a lot of experience, international, and he knows what he's going, what he does, system, everything like that. I think it's going to be a great match. And then also Rutu is behind the bench over there. So I believe all can be a good match together. Again, I'm just drawing some stuff here.
Some ideas, yeah. No, I agree. I mean, at some point, if your aspirations are to be in the NHL, then you have to make that move over here. And the other thing I'm not too certain about is what type of coach necessarily he is. Is he a strong motivator? Is he an X's and O's kind of coach? To me, he seems to be very systematic, like X's and O's, and
but they work on the. Here's anybody come from Sweden like Goldberg or this guy over there, right? They really work on the small area like Martin Saint Louis. So everything is about creativity. It's about quick transition, and everything it's about what do you do with no puck? Where do you go? So they build their young travel, and you can see how talented they are. The Finland, their stick angling is great. Makes sense. Their vision is amazing. Their pass is great shot. You turn that. What they don't carry on here, some of them, or many of them, is the physicality of the game. And that's hurt a lot of Finland. Now, of course, Barkov and Lundell, and I can, you know what I mean? Like, but when you talk about the Niku, the secondary players have a better talent overall. But when they go to the game, they have a difficult time about that. And I think that's something they have to get better.
I agree with that.
So that'd be something they have to get. Mr. Luc Lafortune, welcome aboard. And at that, which team do you believe has hired the best coach so far?
Well, I like Vegas picking up Cassidy. I think that, given the talent that Vegas has, and Cassidy's record and the way he is with his players, I think that will benefit Vegas quite a bit. I like the fact that Montreal returned or took off the interim tag on Martin St. Louis and hired him to stay on, because we saw the effect he had on some of his players last part of the season. And he completely changed the culture of the team. All the players at the end of the year all commented on how they felt happy to be at practice, to be learning from somebody that had that kind of pedigree as well in the NHL. They really respect them. So those two are very good. I also like Tortorella in Philadelphia. I'll be honest with you, because I think they need some structure. And I think Torts can do that. He can bring an identity to that team that's been lacking for a long time. So those three are probably my three strongest coaching assignments.
I think so far I don't see like a bad hire by any team. I think each team pick up the one they're looking for to make their team better overall. So I think for me, it's where I believe like Dober is fine, Cassidy will be fine in Vegas, right? You talk about just Tortorella, we bring something what Philadelphia is looking for. Again, we don't know the roster. I don't say they will be successful, but my point, I think, I think they bring what they may be that we're helping their team, what they at that moment. So I think so far, I don't see like a bad, my point here, I don't see one team say, oh my God, what the heck they did right now. That's my point.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, like I said, for me, just the only one that I don't see quite the fit is the DeBoer one. And again, it's not because I think he's a bad coach. It's just the style of Dallas versus what he wants to implement.
Renaud said that as advocacy become overrated and hype, but as a better another Joel player is defensively, I believe, most of the time, at least for his first season.
Is he overhyped?
Hype is become overrated.
Overrated? No, I don't think so. I mean, the majority, if not all of the scouts, have him ranked anywhere between 1 to 3. And really, I mean, he's a 6'4" left winger. He plays a physical game. He's not afraid to go to the net. He has good speed, well, decent speed, and he'll definitely be a positive for whoever picks him up. So I don't think he's overhyped.
I don't think so. I think you're not going to make a mistake if you go with if you go with Sakaski or whatever they are. Sakaski is going to be fine in NHL. Like Cooley will be fine, Nemec will be fine, Shane will be fine, Jared Milchek will be fine. So Renault, to answer that, I don't think so. It would be an overrated. You cannot compare him at Joel Armia at all. It's not the same page at all. That example, Joel Armia, example, Mr. Notap, another player, White Camp from Finland. Great hand, puck protection, good skater, everything like that. But when he becomes a physicality, he disappears.
But it's not always, though. That's the puzzling thing about Armia. Sometimes he does get into those.
One game every 7, 8 game.
Yeah, that I see.
Right?
But usually, if it's a player that's afraid to get into the muck it up in the corners, you're going to see that consistently. He doesn't do that. It's just that he disappears completely. Like his skating is not as fast. He doesn't get physical. He doesn't carry the puck because he has good hands too, and he's got a very
look
good
about
shot.
Niku. If you think Niku, right, let him play.
Yeah.
His style, he's better to Kulak. On offensive side, on passing, on puck moving, on stick angling, his pass is always but when you go a 5 versus 5 on the corner, or he's going to get beat.
He's overwhelmed, yeah.
Right? Mr. Duda said, ENORTAP, which team will be strong in the NHL next season?
Well, I mean, I think you're going to get your perennials. You're still going to have strong teams out of Florida, Toronto, Colorado. I think Vegas will return back to the top. There's quite a few, and then the other component that's going to determine that is what happens this summer, both in the draft with the UFAs. So it's a bit premature to really answer that question, but the strong teams that are there now, I'm sure will repeat, with the exception of, maybe Boston might go down a bit. I suspect maybe Pittsburgh a little bit, maybe Nashville.
All right. Mr. Blackhawk said, do you think the Hawks should trade the DeBrincat to New Jersey for the second round pick and the first round in 2022?
For the second round pick and what else?
DeBrincat for the second round pick. Alex DeBrincat for the second round pick for the Devils.
They're going to need more. They're going to need more than that. There's no way New Jersey.
But do you think they should do that? Like starting with that point and then you add something else?
Okay, yeah. If you add something else, I think at this point the DeBrincat has to bring you some assets, because Chicago is totally rebuilding, and so he doesn't figure into their future by the time that they are a competitive and a team that's in the playoffs again. So if he can bring you the assets, then yeah, I'm all for trading him. It's unfortunate because he's an excellent hockey player, and he will definitely help wherever team he lands on. But yeah, I would do it, but not straight 1-on-1. The second pick for DeBrincat, no.
What do?
You have to sweeten that package up for sure. You have to add at least a prospect. You have to add.
Do you think DeBrincat
a higher pick?
DeBrincat again, the first one pick, a second one pick, and you put Mercer or you put Medicu with that bin, whatever is the defenseman.
I'm a little bit hesitant to throw Mercer in there. I think that's going a little bit too far, but definitely maybe a lower type of player, as well as the selections you named and the prospect. Yeah, so I think they can get four pieces to the Brinkat in total.
Yeah. Chicago have no first round pick, I believe.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
Do you think GM of the year goes to Sakic or Brisebois?
Oh, good question, Ron. There's actually
Is that
one more. Who's
Drury is then?
Drury's in there as well, right? Um, I would probably, I'd probably lean towards Sakic, because I think this is a team that he's created and brought to this stage, and he's made some very good pickups at trade deadline time that are helping the team. And if they win the cup, I think that's
With Sakic.
yeah.
I'm surprised the Mariello is not there, but that's another subject. That first incredible save basically have the push to make that save. To you push off your left or your right skate. I think he talked about the comfort. You have to T-push on your left to go to the right.
Yeah.
And if you want to go to the left, you T-push from the right to the left, Adam. If we think about the same save, Adam. The Brinkat de Detroit first round, Sedina et un prospect.
The Brinkat to Detroit first, and Zadina and a prospect. Detroit's first. I think they might need a little bit more than that. I don't think that's enough either.
No.
No.
No. I will say no to you, not for him.
Oh.
Because you get the first round pick, right now you get maybe Detroit's number, what, 9?
I think so. Yeah.
7, 8. I don't have in front of me. I apologize.
They're number 8. They're number 8.
Right? So you're getting a Kemel, example, or Little Meriki.
Or Nazar or somebody.
Right? And then you get Zadina. That's the worst of the trade. And then you get, in return, you ask them to save you, to send Sober Blob and return.
I don't think he mentioned Soderblom.
No. He said or prospect.
Oh, okay. Well, it depends who the prospect is. That's a pretty big prospect. That's but
that's the prospect I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I will ask in return, if you don't go with Soderblom, but I will ask maybe Rasmussen and maybe a good defenseman prospect over there and return.
Yeah.
If you want to go that way.
Yeah, that could get it done.
But Caleb, I believe Detroit is 1 year before they do that on my book. They're not good enough right now to get those kind of scorer and destroy what they have. I think like Montreal, don't do anything crazy right now. Just wait 1-2 years and then you reach there. I think the Devils are there. I think the Kings are there. And they're not. The Montreal are not. Can you understand what I explain?
Yeah.
And I think that's the point here.
I think Detroit's a couple years away still.
Yes, because they're missing a couple of pieces in the puzzle. The goaltender, they are not older like the Edmondson, the new the Slater, the Raymond, the Soderblom, and the Rasmussen, and I can go all the way like that. So, Will Anderson Pedro to Toronto a key for Utah.
Anything's possible, Jose.
No.
I've heard that rumor, but
no.
Usually you don't trade within your own division.
Yeah.
And Toronto and Montreal kind of have a bit of a rivalry, so I don't know if they'd be trading partners, to be honest with you.
I don't see Anderson go to Toronto. So it'll be interesting. Who is the top 10 this next season? Colorado do that. On the top team next season, right now, I will start with Colorado. Adam, question. Riley Smith to Edmonton for Kane or Smith to Colorado for Kadri?
Well, Kadri's a free agent.
They are all free agent.
So is Riley Smith.
So you don't have to trade Adam, anybody there.
Right.
So they're all UFA. Now, what Adam can mention is, all right, if we don't sign Riley Smith, can we get Kadri or we get Kane?
Yeah, I see what he's saying.
So what do you answer?
I doubt it. I don't see it.
Because?
Well, Kane's a bit of a time bomb for me. I think right at this point he's going to be looking for money more than anything.
3-4-7 right now.
Right, and I think that's a little bit too much of a gamble for any team. Like,
But Vegas, first of all, Mr. Natal had no money.
Well, assuming that they're obviously going to clean up their salary cap situation. Like, I'm taking that question in that context that they can, especially if they're going to get rid of Riley and who was the other one?
Only Riley Smith.
Oh, only Riley. That's not
now
enough.
they get Kane or they get Kadri. Do you take one of them, both of them, or not nobody?
Neither one. Neither one.
Too much money, Adam, for both. All right. And then Kadri, now you have already Eichel, you have already Carlson, you have already Roy, Coleslaw, whatever they put on the bottom. Their line is already structured. So Kadri will cost you $8 million. You don't have that kind of money. Now it's yeah, but if we trade Pacioretty, we can Kane. Kane in Vegas.
You're asking for it. You don't do that. And not only that, but you know what? Trying to go out there and acquire the best players does not necessarily make a team. You have a bunch of I people and not we.
Great question for Ron. Do you think Fiala or Forsberg stay in the West or go in the East?
Well, Forsberg is a free agent, so basically he can go anywhere he wants. Fiala, I still think they'll find a way, Minnesota, to hang on to him. I don't think he's going to leave Minnesota. They'll find a way. They'll be very creative. Forsberg, man, I'd like to say he'll stay with Nashville because Nashville definitely needs him, but I can't see them paying the amount of money he's going to
I love this question, right, Mr. Natap? Let's see they don't stay with their team.
Okay.
Which conference they goes?
I don't think it matters to them. I think they're going to go wherever the money is, whoever shows interest.
Yeah, but his question, do you think he will stay in the West or they will go east?
I think Forsberg goes to the east, personally. Fiala could go west. Yeah. Or, he's a harder one for me to figure out. But Forsberg, I can see him maybe going to a team that, like a Boston or somebody that needs a good, solid scorer. Like, Carolina is desperately in need of a good goal scorer. They can add some great offense, which is
the problem in Carolina, Mr. Natap, they're looking for a center.
I know, and they also have issues with their cap as well.
So they have three teams, and the East right now can pick one of them, or maybe four: Ottawa, Detroit, Islanders, and the Devils.
Yeah, money wise, all of those teams can take him.
right?
Is he
The
going to
only
want
thing
to
I would say
go?
to you is Fiala have to be traded, Forsberg have to give away. So when you talked earlier about DELANEY for the Devils said, wait a minute, why not to get Forsberg and give him a big contract? But the problem, we have Doug Hamilton at $9 million, but they got the money of Subban. So the attraction of Forsberg and Devils guy is really logic in my eyes.
Yeah.
For some reason,
New Jersey has the money. They can
for some
definitely
reason, I feel
make
like
that
Fiala
happen.
could be in Los Angeles King.
I was actually thinking that earlier, but I could also see him in the East. I think he fits in both systems. He can definitely
Because
be
I
a
believe the
closer.
Los Angeles King have some young men to make Minnesota over there, and Minnesota looking for low salary. I'm talking about Villardi, example, Alex
Yeah,
Turcotte, you know, a defenseman, Dorsey, whatever they call it. You know what I mean? So they have a lot of young men players and return with a first one pick example. I'm just throw right now. I think the King could be Fiala. I thought because it's a trade. If you are free, that's another
yeah, yeah.
subject right there.
Exactly, exactly. That was my point. Yeah.
Blackhawk asked you, do you think Colorado will take Patrick Kane?
Where would they fit him? I don't think they don't have the salary space for him.
My answer would be say no because they don't have money for him.
Yeah.
Mr. God by Horse, welcome aboard. Why are the Dragons so terrible compared to Vegas?
Well, they came in the league at different times, obviously, and I think the Vegas situation when they came in was totally different than when Seattle came in. Um, I think that they were able to acquire quite a few pieces, and they were instantly a success. Vegas. I think what we see with Seattle is the more traditional route of the way an expansion team develops, with draft picks, and making sure that you have a solid defense and working your way that way. Uh, it'll take a few years for Seattle to sort of get into the mix. They're going to try to obviously acquire as many picks as they can and deal from that situation. I think Francis has a plan for them. Vegas, it seems like they set the bar so high at the beginning, and now that bar is still up there. Like nothing short of a Stanley Cup is considered a success for them.
Yeah. For me, I would say it's a two area in the sense like the when Vegas came, some GM they was not prepared, so they make mistake and they gave
Right.
away players at the Vegas, and then when Seattle come here, now the GM learned from their mistake. So example,
Right.
so they got two players from for the Florida Panthers, Marchessault and Riley Smith. They got from Minnesota Alex Stark, and they got someone else. Good players. I cannot call it my head right now.
Yeah, I can't remember right now.
The Los Angeles King, they got Martinez over there, and then they build Vegas quick for short term. Seattle,
Right.
they want to under the way a long term. They protect their money. They don't want to get go at $80 million. They got Fleury. They did not have to go on UF3 in Vegas. They got so many good players on the like Shea Theodore example is another one they got on that one over there. And then Seattle, they refuse all the big contract, the Tarasenko, the Carey Price, the Hohenson, the Matt Shine. And most of them are good year this year, but they go to another direction compared to Vegas. And who knows who will be the best? Francis went to the long term. Vegas
Yeah.
went to the present, and they missed a lot. They gave away a lot of prospect example. The Zuski, the Glass, and they gave a lot of first round pick at the beginning of the first 3
Right,
years, 4 years over there.
to build the team up.
Yes. So
Getting Pietrangelo and Leonard, Fleury, all those guys, that cost them quite a bit.
Exactly. If even though Kane goes to a new team, which team he should choice?
I personally, I think if he's smart, he stays in Edmonton, and maybe accepts a 1 or 2 year maximum contract at. I mean, Edmonton will try to probably go with $3 or $4 million. I don't know if that'll do the trick, whether he'll bite. But I think he thinks he can get more on the market. And I don't think Edmonton is going to pursue him if he doesn't come down in his price.
I think he would send Moncton at 347.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I would do. I mean, it's the smartest thing. He's playing with two of the best players in the league. He had success there. This team gave him a chance when nobody else would. Like why would you? Well, I know why. He's going to follow the money, but it's for his success. This is the best thing. Then if he wants to leave after the 2 or 3 years and chase another larger contract, I'm sure more doors will open up as long as he produces in these 2 or 3 years.
Renault asked if Pacioretty does not resign in Vegas, could Boston be a soft landing spot for him or the Rangers?
I don't see the Rangers. Boston's a possibility, but I don't even think that. I don't think either team, to be honest with you.
Islanders.
I don't know. It depends. It depends now.
And 2 years.
Yeah, like I'm thinking with Lambert as their coach, what kind of style will that team
Offensive.
take on?
The player they tell them we play defensive like Trust, we're not going to play at all.
Yeah, because they were a bit upset with that system, right?
My point is because Islanders looking for the winger. They need winger. Carolina looking center.
Yeah.
Now remember, he's going to be 35 years old at that moment.
So I don't know if it's a wise move for the.
Will Patrick Kane be traded to Buffalo?
Don't think so. Don't think so.
Patrick Kane, it would be traded at the trade deadline, Mr. ENORTAP.
Yeah.
He complete his full year contract, then he's UFA, right? So at the trade deadline, Chicago should waiting there. Now you're going to see who is in the race. Then you're going to get a lot in return. And then the team can resign Catherine. A little bit like Claude Giroux. That's a great example.
Right.
And then you trade a three team. Like a team pick up money from Kane at $2 million, $3 million. Chicago kept $3-4 million, and the team get it. They only get him at 25% or it's $10 million. It's about like $22.5 million for the rest of the year. That fit on any team for the people how the team can win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, that's the best option, trade deadline.
So, Mr. ENORTAP, like this, we did all the question. I did not look whatever happened in the chat. I did not look at all. I just stay on the question all night long, and we'll go through this very quicker, better, faster about that. So, if we don't say to you, welcome aboard. Thank you. If you stalk each other, I don't know what's happening. I'm just behind the question tonight, and I want to be sure we answer all your questions about that. So hopefully you have a great time and the chat between each one of you about that. Coach, what do you do with Thompson and Bronze? Have 3 goalies in Vegas.
Well, Thompson you keep for sure. He's very promising for the future for them. Leonard's really the wild card in all of this, right? Because I still haven't heard much about what happened at the end of the year with the situation with the coaching and his play. Like, looked like he was out, then he was in, he was out, and then he was upset, and that's what you get with Leonard, unfortunately. So if they can maybe deal Leonard away, then I think you put a lot of your chips in the table with Thompson. I didn't mind what I saw. I know it's a very short um, sample, and we need to see him for a longer stretch of time, Thompson. But I liked what I saw.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised everybody of you, both of you, have said you don't do anything.
Well, you can't. I don't know. I think if they want to shed some money, Leonard's the way to go.
You cannot win with Bronswin Thompson.
Yeah. Well, Leonard's making what, 5.5,
For, 5 million.
5 million?
Yep.
Yeah, but he's so injury prone. Like he
Oh,
worries me.
you just answered my question.
What's that?
Right? If he's hurt, who do you have now?
Well, that's my point. So,
So my point, you don't trade anybody.
or
Because
you
if
pick
you
up
go that
a
way,
cheaper
right?
option. You could pick up a cheaper option.
If you go Leonard out, now you're going to have Bronswin and Thompson. Bronswin is back up. Thompson are back
Yeah.
up. Both of them are back up, are not regular number one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a difficult situation.
Where
I
they
know
at,
what you're
you
saying.
cannot start your season with a backup number two when you try to win a Stanley Cup, when you put over, did everything, Pietrangelo, Eichel, Pacioretty, Stone, and I can go all the way and say, hey, by the way, we have only Thompson in the back.
No, I understand that, but can you maybe trade Leonard and get yourself a starting goalie, i.e., Campbell?
The only way can go is the Islanders with Lula Mariello for Varlamov.
That's true too.
It's a 5 versus 5. But again, honestly, which team it would say, hey, we want Leonard?
But that's my point. He's a power keg. Like I
But
like
again,
him.
I
I
always
think
said
he's
to
a
you,
good
Mr.
goalie.
Notap, with the hockey where they at right now, you almost
Yeah.
need 3 goaltender.
Yeah, the way the league is going right now, I agree. I think
Now,
you
you
need
have an
3 goalies.
exception, the Vasilevsky, the Chostakin, the Alibak, and the
course,
Max Strom.
of course.
I understand that. But I will give you an example. Vancouver, they don't find another goaltender over there, they're going to struggle. Demko is not going to go
Winnipeg.
50 game over there. And Spencer Martin is not a backup over there like they expect.
Right.
Goudreau like
Winnipeg,
him,
same,
but
Winnipeg, same thing with Hellebuck. You can't just rely on him.
and then you can go with Dallas.
Dallas, Ottinger, yeah.
Exactly about that one over there. Let's move on at the bottom. Sorry, but rookie GM and Montreal. You so I'm from that's why I put that Balachon. I don't know what's going on. If Toronto does not sign Campbell, who would be a good sign?
Well, I just mentioned one team.
If Toronto does not get Campbell, but I think they will have to figure out this part very soon. And I don't understand, Mr. Natap. It reminds me exactly with Philip Dano. You have it
Right.
on your backyards. You fight for $1 million, right? And then well, whatever is the amount, and then you let him go because you want to save $1 million. You have Campbell right now. He's in your backyards.
Didn't
Why
they
to
make
try to
that same
complicate
mistake
it?
with
He
Anderson?
don't ask you $6 million.
But didn't they make that same mistake with Anderson? The Leafs?
Oh, they let him go?
I know. And they had him in the backyard.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. That's a great point. And you know the way they did? They go with Merecek.
That's right.
Now,
now they're gonna
honestly,
get rid of
my
him.
point is this part, right? I understand if you ask $7 million, you want to give $4 million, that's another subject right here. If Dano asks a $6 million, 0.5, and Montreal want to give him $4 million, that's another subject. But we talk about $1 million where they are right now.
Yeah.
I don't see the big fan. Honestly, who is on the market right now, UFA, as a UFA, is really, really, really better at Campbell. And you said this guy is going to carry on us to the final Stanley Cup.
I know. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, possibly either one of the Washington goalies or the Islander goalies, because you're even taking a chance, even with Huso. As much as he had a great year, it was 1 year, right? And usually with a goalie, you want to see them perform at a certain level for a couple of years to show that they're a number one. In my eyes, yet I don't still see Huso as a number one until he can do it consistently a couple years in a row.
Yeah. Ron said, how many prospects do you think the King would bring up in NHL next season?
Oh,
Not many.
two, I think.
Not many because Ron, they already have a great. They have already there most of them. And now, if you think about the one and they are not there, right? And you have Alex Turcotte is not there. I hate that my screen turned black tonight because they have a swing. Brent Clark, I think he's too young, and the rest are already in. I don't expect too much. Around maybe one, worst case two, but that's including Villardi or the Quinfield Byfield already there, the Jersey or the Temp, everything. Renault, will other GM try to exploit a rookie GM in Montreal and the fact this team is loaded to cap ceiling with no egg they fix? You have no rookie there,
Well,
Renault. Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon, you have like
Gordon's been around a
20
long
years
time.
experience in hockey. So it's not can Hughes take the decision, Renault. It's all together. The Ken Hughes and also with Jeff Gordon, and they look about that. So it's not going to be
Not
around.
only
And you
that,
already proved, Renault. Already he showed to you what he did with Shane Weber. It's
right?
almost 90% of GM would never do what they did. They trade a contract and did not give anything and with the contract, and they got a scorer of 20 goals. Pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
even what he did with Lekanen, because the story came out that apparently the offer was Lekanen for Barron only, and Hughes waited and waited and waited, and then Saka came back. Okay, I'll give you a second. He said, no, we don't have to get rid of Lekanen. It's either a first and Barron or the deal is off, and he bit. Like I love, to be honest with you, I love the combination of Gorton and Hughes, and I'll tell you why. Because I think Gorton has the experience, and Hughes really brings a different dimension to that position. He understands the players, he understands the talent level that's there because he was a major agent in the league as well, and he's got a lot of networks that he's developed with players or people that know those players. He's got a lot of connections, and people will follow him.
Yep. You're absolutely right about that. Mr. K said that who do you split time and that's a problem they have also over there in Detroit. The Nedeljkovic and Albert over there. They are 2 years before they can call so they will maybe try to get a veteran over there
Yeah, to
as
help
a
out
backup number two.
Nedeljkovic.
I don't know, have no name in my head right now, but I don't think so. They will. They cannot start with both of them. I think they would try to get a veteran. I'm just talking
Yeah,
right now, Alak, but I think it's too old. Maybe Martin John, Brandon Elliott, or Brendan will
Murray,
be
maybe
a guy
Murray.
at $2 million a minimum for 1 year, 2 year. That's it. That's one problem like Buffalo they have right now.
Yeah.
So that would be something. Were the app willing to give Dano a bigger role with them?
Well, I think that's what the sticking point was. I think Dano wanted a bigger role in terms of offense, and he didn't want to be slated in as strictly as a checker. And that was my understanding because apparently, from what I read, Coach Deneau and Bergeron, they came to a decision. I mean, the money wasn't the issue. He didn't leave because of the money. He left because of the role that they thought he was going to assume in Montreal, and then was told otherwise, and he left.
And Dano and Martin St. Louis have a bigger role.
Oh, huge, yeah.
And we don't talk about Shane Wright tonight. We talk about Slavkovsky.
Why?
Because you don't need center anymore with Dano Suzuki under Martin St.
Oh,
Louis.
I see. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Right?
Gotcha.
Do you think they trade Tyler Johnson? No, Blackhawks. He still have 1 year at $5 million. Tyler Johnson, unfortunately, he will stay over there. Would the Red Wing trade Ruby Fabry for Petrie with Action Selpies and the deal there?
How's Fabry going to help us out? I wouldn't do it if I'm Montreal.
Fabry?
I wouldn't do it.
Fabry? 26 years old, $4 million for 3 more years. So ENORTAP.
Yeah. But his stats?
17 goal last year and 56 game. 10 goal and 30 game. 14 goal and 52 game. He give you 20 goal per year. Easy. Now, you get Fabry, and you get a prospect in return.
Yeah, you have to add something to that.
Yeah, it's not 1-1.
Yeah, yeah.
All right? And maybe not Zedzina, but you have a couple of players there.
How big is he? How tall is he?
What?
How tall is Fabry?
Tall?
5'11"? 5'11", I think.
5'10".
5'10". You see, I don't know. I'd rather put the money towards Rem Pitlick, who has I think adds a physicality to the game as well.
The problem is the money, it maybe not fit very well.
Yeah.
You have already some, I think that would be better to get some other pick and return. Yeah. Do we see Clark come up and does a prospect on Place Brown? Yes. To have a prospect round, you can add a Villardi and Thomas and those kind of prospect. Now, Clark, I don't think so would be ready for NHL run this year.
1 more year.
Udi Sang in some league, he has been in the league for a couple of years already. Now, they would like to add something, but yeah, 3 directions they can go. They can try to get Shinkran. They would try to get a UFA like Goudreau or Forsberg, or they have a lot on the UFA that can make it, right? Or they will count up the people from the bottom to go for the prospect or anything like that. I still believe they will trade. They will get a defenseman and a draft pick this season over there. But Brent Clark is about 2 years to be the NHL.
Yeah, they might pick up Chikrin. I could see that.
Yeah,
but they have a lot of money though. They will definitely go the free agent route. They will land one of those guys you mentioned.
Can I ask you is Zedzina or Fabry higher on the Wings picking order?
Well, Zadina is the more ideal in terms of his size and what he was supposed to come into the league with in terms of skill. But I think Fabry right now is outperforming him. Yeah.
Fabry, guys, you have a lot of good year with St. Louis Blues, by the way.
Yeah.
Question, Matthew SLATER. Last night, Corey Perry became the first player in the NHL to score a goal in the Cup and the Whitford's franchise. How much longer would Perry last with Tampa?
Well, he's got 1 more year after this.
Yeah.
So he signed a 2-year, $2 million contract.
And it would be another player who reached the final, maybe would not win the Stanley Cup. Who win game number 4 to that? We're going to tell you this tomorrow night at a warm-up show. Any major move by Hurricane? That's a really interesting team over there.
They're going to have to. I think that they've learned their lesson this year. They cannot continue to just rely. Like they have great depth. Don't get me wrong, and they're a very, very good team. But they just don't score enough, and that's going to create problems down the road for them.
Okay, let's start with this one, guys. This is a great question, Mr. King. I just love those show like that, me. I don't know what's going on in the chat, so I don't know. They fight each other. We have two police, and it was no big deal.
Two police.
We have Mr. ENORTAP, $19 million to spend.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
They have 19. How many are signed?
Only 14.
Yeah, that's they're in trouble cap-wise.
So they have 9 players to sign for the upcoming year with 19. So they give them a $2 million each, right?
Just over, yeah.
And now they have to figure out Lawrence, and not big deal. Lawrence will be 700. But Martin Nakash.
Nakash is a big question mark.
Max Domi, Nede Raider, Stefan go bye-bye, and Trocheck. Yeah, then Adam Bear, they let it go.
Yeah.
Anthony D'Angelo.
That's a big one.
And then you have Ian Cole and Brendan Smith.
Look, they got fortunate when they let go Hamilton and they picked up D'Angelo. They can't make the same mistake.
So, example, they have to sign Nede Raider, they have to sign Trocheck, and they sign D'Angelo. Three of them
get signed. 2.
Trocheck is $7 million.
Yep.
D'Angelo $4 million minimum.
Minimum, yeah.
All right. So now we have about $11 million. And Nede Raider is going to get about 3.5.
Yeah.
So that gave them about 16, 15, 16. And now after that, they have to sign 6 more players.
Yeah. They're in trouble. But that's okay. They have Kokaniemi.
They have the king. But it's a team, they are limited, Mr. ENORTAP.
Of course. They can't score. Like, you can't have Sebastian Aho getting all.
Now, for them, Mr. ENORTAP, $6 million with Jordan Stahl.
Hey, he's not coming back.
Do you know how much money he make, Kokaniemi?
I think he's going to start at 4.5 next year, right? No?
4.8.
Oh, 4.8. Yeah,
it's $5 million.
I know. for how many
5 years to 6 years.
For 10 minutes a game, 11 minutes a game maximum.
Now he's 21 years old, I understand.
How many points did he get last year?
And not enough to make $6.1 million.
Exactly.
Interesting, Caleb, but you're going to see something there for sure. Can I measure? Yes. And I think for them, Mr. ENORTAP, and for Mr. Caleb, is Jordan Stahl.
In what sense?
$6 million.
That's a lot of money. I don't think he comes back.
Third center.
You can fill that gap. No, I think a bigger question mark is going to be Nikas.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have quite the year that he should have had this year.
But you take him out, you take that money you gave to Trocheck.
Right.
Right? And now Kokaniemi become the number 3. But again, think about this, Mr. ENORTAP. Let's go with our is at what, $8 million, right?
Yeah.
And let's go to play musical chair. Now, Stahl is at number 3 at 6, and your number 4 is at 5.
Right.
And you're now right now almost $20 million, and you're still missing a center. And on the ladder they are, you still number 2 is not there.
That's right.
It's not only at Montreal they make mistake. It's everywhere. William, your question, who would you guys have if you could only sign one Nicotian age 27 or Kadri age 31 who has more upside?
I would take Nikushkin at 27. I think Kadri, this was probably his best year. I doubt he duplicates what he's produced this year, wherever
Now,
he goes.
here's the point, Mr. William. Let's answer this question with Colorado, Mr. Nota.
Yeah.
Nikushin with Colorado, a long term, may be a better fit. A short term, Kadri will fit also with Colorado if it's a short term contract, 2 more years, example. But if you go for 5, 6 years, you completely out the page between both of them because now you bring Kadri at 35, 36, 37. So it's not worth it for them.
Right.
The key for Colorado is to keep Nikushin and try to get a center behind McKinnon at maybe a $5 million, but they give you a good result. And I'm sure they have some in NHL.
Trocheck.
So,
and the thing we're forgetting is Nikushkin's a very good defensive player too.
He's a big body too.
Oh, huge. And I love what I'm seeing. It took a while, but here he is. I think.
I know he will not play like Kadri, but do you feel like DUARTE second center there could be crazy?
I don't think it's crazy at all.
$4 million?
4 or 4.5?
4.
Yeah, I think that's a great fit. Depends what comes back in return, right? What do you think Colorado could offer?
It's because that kind of money you save as a center with DUARTE, that's your kind of money you give to McKinnon after that. Because you have to find those kind of money somewhere. You cannot get another contract second center at $7-8 million.
No.
So you try to minimize all the a player like that at that level.
You're right. Sakic will figure it out.
Niederreiter make like a 5.5 AAV on his last deal. Expect 6 million and more. Really?
I thought he was lower. I thought he was at 4 something. But you might be right, Renaud. I'm not sure.
5.2.
Okay. Yeah, so if he expects more than that, then Carolina's not going to hang on to him.
How many goals he got this year? 24.
Niederreiter? Yeah.
He will not get more.
No. That's his best.
He will get more. Now, do you sign him at 5 million? Yes. You know what I mean? But I will not ask him 5.5. But if you go him at $6 million, you're out or your salary cap after that. He's 29. And he play on the third line, by the way.
Right.
That's a lot of money to give on your third line.
How many more years does Teravainen have?
I'm sorry?
Teravainen. How many more years does he have on his contract?
Not much. 2 more years, I believe.
2. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because, like you said, you got to make room for some of these players. Their contract, they're going to come up.
But do you pay Teravainen at 5.4 or Niederreiter at 5.2?
I would give it to Teravainen.
You know what I mean? So they will not get, at some point, they will have to open up about that. And AO, and 2 years, his contract is over.
Yeah.
2? And Shelnikov right now, he makes 7.5.
Wow.
How much dollar will be the minimum to keep Kadri?
Oh, I'd say 8.
No.
Minimum?
Oh, to keep Kadri, yeah, because now Kadri say yes.
Yeah. I think 8.
I would, honestly, John, I would say, look, buddy, I give you 31 years old. I give you $7 million per year, 3 years, and you stay with us. You have a chance to win the Stanley Cup. Now, you can go to Flowers at $8.5 million.
Yeah.
You're going to get a contract until 35, 36. You secure your life, but that's what you get with John Tortorella.
Here's what happens, though, Coach. Colorado wins the Cup, Kadri will go for the higher money. If Colorado doesn't win the Cup, then he might consider staying for a lower amount.
I would never pay Kadri over $7 million.
I wouldn't either. I think this is absolutely his best year. We will not see these
Now,
numbers
if you
again.
want to go 3 years, I'll maybe go 7.5. But if you go 4 years, because I give him a security, Mr. Natap, he's get the 35. Now, I've said to you, buddy, hey, 4 years at $7 million, that 28, that's pretty much a good deal for both of us right now.
Yeah, I agree. But if he wins the Cup this year, I think he's accomplished the major prize in his life. And so he's going to go for the money, regardless of what team he goes to. If he doesn't win the Cup, then he might consider staying because he knows he's close to a Cup. So the money is not as valuable as trying to get that before he's done his career.
I would believe he played game number 5.
I think so too.
I think it would be a risk for them to use him for game number 4.
Right.
At least he's really ready. But if he's at home, he can protect them. They can play back McKinnon twice, whatever they are. But on the road, you're limited.
Yeah, I don't think they had any intention of playing him in these 2 games.
Yeah. But I think, John, that's what would be my and it's a great question, and it's it's fun what we're doing, because that's all about.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to tell you something, but I cannot. No, it's not about this. Like, I watched another YouTube channel tonight on hockey.
Yeah.
And he worked right now for Sportnet. He did his top 50.
Top 50 what?
His top 50 top prospect.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Was he off?
Yeah. And the way he was talking about them was like, wow. But he was not off on maybe the 20-1, right? As everybody will be ready, right? But he put Liam Bichel 23 example.
Wow. Okay.
Oh. Please remember to put a game. Yeah. Cool. Things start at net for Avalanche. That's a good question. Who do you start tomorrow?
Oh, you got to go with Kumper.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a short leash. If he allows 3 quick goals or something, then you take him out. But I mean, he's one of the reasons you're here, right? Like he had a great year. You have to put him back in.
Yeah. Steve said, Kadri is Avalanche number 1 point scorer. We need him.
He wasn't their number 1 scorer. I don't.
He said, Kadri is the Avalanche number 1 point scorer. We need him. So I don't know. He said he need him for the playoff or he need him in the future.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. If it's for the playoffs, I can see it. Like I think if they had Kadri, that would add the physicality and also the threat to score even shorthanded.
Face off,
well.
PK,
face off,
everything.
Right. Exactly.
But for the season, we need him this season. Yes, Steve, exactly.
So
in the future, you cannot sign him. You better try to find someone at $5 million. And I'll give you an example. Look, LeCannon, what he does, Mr. Steve. He looked like Guy Lafleur.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but he scored an offensive right now. And now the people said, oh, at Montreal, we don't develop them. Or Montreal, he didn't have his time. He did not put. And I'm going to show to you in 2 days, every year who he play with. But when you play with McKinnon, you make point. If you play with Tresarol and McDavid, you make point.
Right.
But if you play with Plekanec, you don't make point.
Yeah.
It's balanced, right, Mr. Notap? You have to see who you play with. And
Absolutely.
I'm not against Lekonen. I'll just give you an example about that one there. So Kadri is doing well, but he played with who also?
That's right.
Night, though, almost draft time. Yeah, it is. Nicola, have a good night. Comper play at home. Franco's play on the road. Mr. YKID, coachman, the new Yankees. He'll go to Bucks. We need him this season. Comper with a short list. Yes, I agree with you about that one there. Coach start at the net on your answer. Avalanche don't need Kadri that much. For this playoff, look, yes, but not
Moving
in the future.
forward. Yeah.
Kadri will be diminished return. Kadri will still drive Canada. He won too much anywhere. Kadri get traded to the Blues. No. No money there.
That'd be tough.
I would consider seriously to think to moving Kadri. Yeah. Rogers try out at the abs. Renault, Nino maybe get 4 to 6.
Too much. Too much. $6 million.
I told him, listen, buddy, you have a role with us. I use you at third line. I put you at front row sometime. You get $20 million, 4 years, $5 million. Or you can go 5 and 5. He's 29.
Oh, 29. Okay, I thought he was 27. Okay, that's even worse.
But I will go 5 and 5. He scored 25 goals per year.
I don't think he's going to put in 25 again.
Or he regular at 20.
20 maybe, yeah.
But I will keep that while I this. Happy birthday, Mr. Whitey. Better win game 4. That part is over 5 games. They will say game number 7. Nether for Amia, Evan Trait. Look, 8.5 for Kadri minimum home time discount. I will not take him along. How much will Kadri get this? We got that one over there. I'm going to get down all the way, Mr. Natap. Please remember to put a question there. Kadri, but and then good night, everybody. Here we go. We have Eisenman getting someone from Tampa staff. Is that the reason for the delay?
That's what I heard. I heard that they were looking at Lalonde, yeah.
Can I ask you what you think about Matthews won the both awards?
Oh, congratulations! It's well deserved, Kelly. He had a great year. My only thing is I wasn't saying that he wasn't necessarily going to win it. I actually thought he was going to win it. I just think when you look at the Hart Trophy and you look at the definition of what it means, right? It's the most valuable player to their team. So I would ask you the following question, and I'll pose it at you as well, Coach. If you take the 3 candidates that were for the Hart Trophy, you take Matthews out of the Leafs lineup, you take McDavid out of Edmonton's lineup, and you take Shesterkin out of New York's lineup, which team will suffer the most?
I'm surprised you go with McDavid.
See, I would go Shesterkin.
Because I believe Georgiev is going to cover you more what we think they are. Because the system in New York is not too bad. I understand where you go save average expectation are, but I think you take off 60% on your offensive.
Yeah.
With Tressalo, with McDavid.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
So I understand your point of view about this. At the end of the day,
yeah,
Matthews would be the worst of the 3.
Right. And again, it's no knock on Matthews. I think he's a fantastic player, and he's a great sniper, and he's got a great future ahead of him as well. It's just I'm just going by the definition of what that award is for.
Which team did not? It was eliminated first. You can have your best player in the NHL. It just proved to you it's a team concept.
Yeah.
You have
exactly.
nothing else. Yeah, it's a team concept. So whatever you have Matthew score 75 goal, if they cannot have those right people around him, does not work.
Yeah.
Mr. Charles Olivier Choco is on the house. Welcome aboard. How many goals with Elias Pedersen next year?
Oh my gosh, he really picked it up in the second half the season. I mean, this guy, especially with the amount of power play time he gets, I mean, this guy could put up 40.
I'll go with 35, and he can reach 40. He play now with Kumesko. Kumesko now, the Russian kid, will be interesting. Do that. I don't know. Let's do that. Who win the Stanley Cup next season? Let's finish the first this year. Do that, and then we can think in next season. To that, that'll be easier. Steve, Kadri 2 years, 4 million home discount. Now it's more like a backyard discount,
Yeah.
Mr. Steve. It's
Do
not a
it.
home. A home is bigger.
If
A
you get him
backyard
for
is
$4
just
million, I'll do it.
at a home discount is more like a driveway discount you got right now at 2 years.
That's a yard sale.
Welcome back, salut mon homme, Charles Chaco. I'm sorry we go deep down about this one over there. Nicholas, I'm curious on Tracek and where he can land if USFA good fit for the New York Islanders or the Boston.
I'd like to see him in Boston.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's Islanders, Nicholas, but Boston because they have a lot of players. You have Pajot, we have Barzal, everything. I think Boston, you have nobody, and that would give them if Bergeron leave to get there. I still believe Tracek wants to stay in Carolina.
Yeah, I think he's happy there, and he knows he's close to a cup there. So I don't see why not. But sometimes the business decisions are made.
Goodbye, c'est Horst Kadri to Vancouver.
Mm.
No, he had no money.
No.
Look, it was wrong. He said Jose would want. I told you, nobody listened to me.
I agree with that.
The problem, nobody listened to me. I told you it was McCarr. I told you Matthew was win.
No, but I don't know. Defensively, I think he had the year of all years, Yossi.
Who is the better defensive, McCarr or Jose?
Yossi. Defensively, yes. 100%.
I'm telling you right now, if you look statistically, McCarr is better to Jose. I'm telling you right now, you'll be surprised, and I'll tell you why. McCarr take advantage of Devon Tays on the ice with him, and Jose is by himself. So he looked bad sometime on the ice because maybe have a mistake on the right, on the left, and now he's on the ice. Now he cannot do anything. But I'm telling you now, if you look about everything, McCarr look better on defensive because this all around.
I mean, I looked at the block shots, and Yossi's far ahead of him in block shots.
Yeah, because Colorado have the puck all the time.
Yeah, I'm not going to dispute that.
You can have block shot if you have the puck. Hey, McKinnon, turn around, shoot on me. I need a couple of block shots tonight. I can understand your point, but I just want to give you like the reason,
Yeah. I mean,
it's helping, right? You have two defensemen together. That's my point.
Yeah, you know what? Make no mistake about it. McCarr, this is one of many that he's going to receive in the league over the next few years. I mean, this guy's a special talent, and Colorado is very fortunate to have him.
Yeah.
However, I think that was of all the awards tonight, that was the closest in terms of the voting.
Oh yeah, it was like 30 points, I believe.
Yeah, actually, Yossi got more first votes ballots than McCarr, but McCarr had more second, so he caught up that way.
Puck, Skull, welcome aboard. Said Edmund should win it. Definitely, Nicholas. You're absolutely right about that. I think Boston is going to be a great destination. You could take us to Boston, Toronto. Coach is look, baseball. All right. Bonsoir. Andy Kuivula, the winner of the contest. You just show up for the contest.
We're having a contest.
Good night, Mr. William. See you tomorrow. Here we go. And everybody say hi to each other. Mr. Nata, we're going to hit the quiz at the end right now. William, you want to stay for the quiz? You're welcome.
Oh, my God!
And we'll see if we can get there. And we get there like we do usually. Let's see if I have my paperwork here. Here we go. Did someone win some trophy tonight? Andy? Yeah, some people did it. We congratulate everybody about that one of them. Mr. Notap, are you ready to write?
Oh, my God!
We're ready to
It's
rock
easy. It's easy. It's all about the goaltender tonight, Mr. Notap. So, question number 1. How many times a goalie win the Vezina Trophy back-to-back? How many times it's happened in the history winner the Vezina Trophy back-to-back? 9 straight goalies, 10 straight goalies, 11 straight goalies, 12 straight goalies, or 16 straight goalies. Now, be careful. You have to win at least back-to-back. You can win 4 times straight. That's count only for 1 time. All right? So, back-to-back count. If you win 3 times, it's still only 1 time. The goalie can do this twice. It's happened. How many goalies did it back-to-back and during the NHL history? Here we go. We have RJ B. Mr. 7049 in the house tonight. Welcome aboard. Dan Asham, welcome back, Mr. Danny. And we have also K. We have Run with Kings. If when I mention your names, because I got it. Black Ox, not playing coach cheat. Patrick Arroy got at Adam D. Andy said A. And we have John said C. We have Kelly said B. Following by Jose said B. Kelly said B. Adam said D. Buddha said B. God said D. Mr. Notap, look at person B.
I don't know if there's that many. I'm going to go with a lower number. I'm going to try 9.
9 for Mr. Enotap. And that has to be another number, as Steve G said. But we have not many winners. We have only 2. C. 11.
Wow.
Kilo and John Dieter win this contest. Both questions. We have 5 questions tonight, Mr. Enotap. Only many of you are 0-1, but you have another chance to pick it up. Don't worry about that. So I'm going to give you a little bit an easier question. I'm helping you a little bit. So I said, how many times Montreal Canadiens win the Trophy Vezina per season? So how many years they win the Trophy Vezina and the NHL history?
How many times?
How many times they win? 86, 78, 63. That's count each time.
Yeah.
22 times, 25, 29, 31, 34. Duda says C. Caleb, yeah, Caleb and John did it. Steve G. And then we have Blackhawks fans said B. Dan said A. 749 said B. Wow, that's got fast. Caleb B. Steve G B. RJ 22. God said D. Ron with King said D. Danny said C now. And then we have Andy, he said C. We have Jose said C. Luc Lafortune said E. Kelly said C. Adam said C. Mr. ENORTAP?
Oh my God!
I'm gonna go with C. 29.
29 for Mr. ENORTAP. And we have also Bug the School over there. And we have a lot of people did it. 29 times, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. The good news is, Mr. ENORTAP, we don't have anybody at 2.
Okay, that's good.
That's a good thing. I just did not have John. I don't know if John did it on that one over there. I feel like John D did not answer to us. Maybe we'll get them later.
I don't see him either.
He said A. All right.
Okay.
He said A. So congratulations.
Oh my God!
Question number 3. How many times a goalie win the Vezina Trophy below a goal average again 2 minutes? At 2 minutes, at 2.00. 16 goalie did it. 21, 24, 27, or 31. How many goalie did it? Mr. Caleb said 1. Danny said A. Steve said G. Blackhawk said C. Round RJ said C. We have B. We have 709A. Jose Duarte B. Bach said A. Kelly said D. God said A. We have God. All days C. And then we have
That's funny.
Andy B. Ron with Kings A. Duda A. Dan D. John D. Ron with Kings said A. And Mr. Adamberger said E. Mr. ENORTAP. Luc Lafortune said B. 0-2 Luc Lafortune, by the way. Mr. ENORTAP.
Oh my, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say 27. D.
27 for B. I got you, Sarah.
Oh my God!
C. 24. You not believe it, ladies and gentlemen? Nobody has 2 good answers right now.
Good.
RJ and Blackhawks joined the party at that moment. And everybody right now is at 1 good answer. Luc Lafortune is 0-3, by the way.
Oh my
This is
God!
one, number 4.
Question number 4. Now, Mr. ENORTAP, we go with the name of the goalie. Easier for everybody.
Oh, sure.
Which goalie win the Vezina Trophy with the worst goal against average on this list? Michel Larac, John Vabrisbook, Ron Extall, Grant Fuhr, and Tom Barrasso. Which one won the Trophy Vezina with the worst goal against average?
Oh my God.
Sarah said A. We have Steve D. Caleb's E. Luc 03. Real Deal D. We have Luc Lafortune B. Jose Duarte D. Danny T. said A. Dan Asham C. 7049 B. RG said C. Andy Quivla said D. Duda said C. Bach said A. Where's the Bach is? Then we have John Dieter A. He's right there. D. Ron with King A. God D. Adamberger D. Kelly D. Mr. ENORTAP.
I think this guy is very fortunate that he had Ken Dryden beside him. I'm going to go with Michel Bunny Larocque.
Michel Larocque, you said, Mr. ENORTAP. The answer that one again is right. He got, hey, Michel Larocque, congratulations. ENORTAP, Danny T, and Buck Skull. All three have 2 good answers, and Ron with King, and Sarah joined the party with 1 good answer right now. So we are going to go at the end of this game one more time, and 1 of the 3 have a good answer. You win. If not, many possible. Here we go.
Was it Danny and Run?
And which goalie win the Vizina Trophy with the most loss in their season? So when they win, they have the most loss in NHL.
Oh my gosh.
That season. Is it Grant Fuhr, Martin Brodeur, Jim Carrey? It's not the actor Hollywood, by the way. Ron Extall and Jose Theodore. Luke 04, by the way.
Oh, shoot. There's 2 possibilities here. In my
Adam, this question was for the senior. Whoop the clock. Steve G said A. Kelly said E. Kelly is 1 and 4. 7049 said E. Danny said C. God said E. Caleb said C. RJ.
God.
Then we have Runway Kings D. Dan Hasham E. Luc Lafortune. Luc is 04, by the way. Adam Berger E. We have John D. After he got 1 and 1, he struggled with 3. Now can he get that one? Bach C. Duda E. Sarah. And then we have Blackhawks fan 97. A. Jose Duarte E. Andy Kuivula said B. Mr. ENORTAP, you have a chance to win this game if you get a good answer like Danny T and also someone else. Ah, Buck. Where is Buck?
Buck.
He said C. All right.
Man.
Good, sir. Here we go.
I'm torn.
Who do you twin? Just tell me you two.
I'm torn between A and B.
A and B.
I'm gonna go with B. I think it was Martin Brodeur.
Oh my
He
God!
did it! It's Martin Brodeur! He's the winner of 3 good answers. He's the only one tonight with 3 good answers. RJ at 2, Andy Kuivula at 2, Danny T at 2, Bach School at 2, Luc Lafortune 05. We not tell anybody. And the rest is all the way over there. Congratulations, Mr. ENORTAP. Tonight is the winner.
Awesome.
And Blackhawks at 05
just out of
also.
curiosity, Coach, was Grant Fuhr second?
No.
Oh no! So wow, so I was wrong about that.
Maybe.
Who was second?
I cannot recall it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. About that. I was trying to play the names of someone which I'm not going to take. Yeah, you know me, I was playing this game that way over there. So it was only that's happening. So
Okay.
that's happening about this one. That's great. Another great night, Mr. ENORTAP. We appreciate everybody to be a part of the show. We'll all be back tomorrow morning at the morning skate show. We'll be back at 6 o'clock, the warm-up show with Mr. ENORTAP. And, of course, we're going to go to the 8 o'clock with the game number 4. We're going to do the Abs, of course, daily news. And we don't know about the NHL news. We'll see if they have news. If not, we're going to skip tomorrow whatsoever. Don't forget, we produce about 4 to 5 times every single day. But, Mr. ENORTAP, before we leave, I want to remind everybody, you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. Look like every time we do that, we look like the guy walk at the airport for the plane. More like that one over
Exit
there.
at the back of the plane.
Thank you so much, everybody, for your participation. You did not click on the link before you
Good night,
get
everyone.
out. Please click on the likes. We want to thank Mr. ENORTAP for another great show tonight at the Power Play Show.
pleasure, Coach.
I can't wait to see you tomorrow night, Mr. ENORTAP. Until then, we want to wish everybody be well, be healthy. Find a way not only dominate your day, but find a way to dominate what, Mr. ENORTAP?
Year 2022.
An amazing great night, everybody.
Good night,
We
everyone.
love you.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. ENORTAP. Good night, Kelly, Mr. John D. Dan Asham, Blackhawks 97, Jose Duarte. Danny, if you start, can you block her or him, whatever he is? Can you just shut them out now for the rest of his life? Just put him not on timeout, just like remove him or whatever it is. I'm not on my YouTube channel. Just put him out. That's it. We don't need to waste our time with those kind of people. Thank you, Mr. D. Good night, Mr. Luke. Mr. Duda. Jose Duarte. Andy Kuivula. Dan Asham. Adam Berger. Kilo. Kilab, Buck Skull, B97, RJ, Ron with King. Thank you, Mr. Blackhawks. Wait, more lip. Thank you, Mr. John. Real Deal Prim. I'm sorry I did not mention your name. Thanks so much. Getting there, Mr. RJ. Not a bad night. Oh, 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 oh.